Okay, Latitude Nation, welcome back to another live feed from the 30th Baja Ha-Ha. We are aboard Profligate today, and we're going to have a little chat with Richard Spindler, the founder of Latitude 38. We've got Chuck Skewes from Ullman Sales sort of moderating. We're going to get a tour of the boat today and kind of a peek inside what's going on down in Mexico. Currently, the fleet is in Bahia Santa Maria, and they're taking off tomorrow morning for Cabo. How's it going, guys?
Well, it's doing great down here. We had a little snafu with the our check-in with the passport, so we had a couple of people going over the sand spit over to Mag Bay, where they're going to get on another boat and go over to San Carlos, do all the magic there, and then bring it back. It was they had a machine breakdown in San Carlos, but everything turns out fine, doesn't it?
I hope so. Are we going to find out later if all the immigration went smoothly?
Yeah, we'll find out what goes on. As soon as we let you know, it'll be fine.
That's great.
This is an adventure. There are unexpected things happen in adventures, and you just have to learn to deal with them.
I mean, I think that's probably really sage life advice.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to deal.
Sometimes it makes the adventure better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this gives an opportunity for here's in back of us over here is Mitch Perkins. He's a longtime Latitude employee who's now reduced to chopping vegetables for lunch.
I'm the sous chef today.
Yeah.
In fact,
a long way
Nicki, the
down.
chef, is this the right size for a mirepoix?
I don't know. So anyway, let me tell everybody, a lot of people have heard about Profligate, and I'll tell you a little bit about her. She was launched in 1967. She was built by Dencho in Long Beach, California. And it's based on a Kurt Hughes 60 charter catamaran, but I modified it tremendously. The only thing that's really left is just the hull volumes, which are perfect. When you do a catamaran, you choose between hulls that are for speed or weight carrying capacity. And so I chose this middle ground, and it's turned out really well. So what was a U60 charter cat design? I extended it 3 feet because back when it was launched in the 97, all the other cats were ass heavy. Their butts that really low in the water, and we didn't want that to happen. I also raised the bridge deck 6 inches and completely changed the interior. It's all done entirely different than his original design. There are no doors on this boat. Even on the outside, we just have curtains to close it off in the off season.
Okay.
She weighs, I don't know, about 45,000 pounds, which means she's not very light. But we've had her up to 25 knots on San Francisco Bay with white sails. And we've also had her on a spinnaker run coming down the coast of Mexico at 25 knots. So she can really haul the bacon. But the downside of cats, particularly cats that are a little bit heavy or have a lot of cargo, like we carry in the Ha-Ha, is that they're slow in light air. Really has a lot of wetted surface. So if there's a race in 5 knots of wind, a Catalina 25 will beat us to the weather mark. So that's kind of crazy. But one of the things I had some criteria for the boat. One was that number one, that it be able to. I used to have an Ocean 71, which is a fabulous boat, but it was too heavy to operate by one person. But this cat is actually, it's easy, relatively easy for one person to sail. I used to race her single-handed in the Silver Eagle race in the Bay, which is 79 miles or something like that. I had so much fun. I'd even fly the spinnakers, because it's easy to drop them. You just go downwind, and the main is so big, it's like you drop the sail on a foredeck that's the size of a tennis court. And we have an electric winch for the halyard and an electric winch for the mainsail, and you can do pretty much anything with those 2 things. My wife Donna and I used to race her in San Francisco Bay, up to about 15 knots with Santa Cruz 70 spinnakers, and that was always hilarious. Now that I'm in my, I'm 76, we don't do too much of that stuff anymore. But the boat has a lot of room. If you can look back in the cockpit here where Mitch is laboring, When we're down in the winter season in Puerto Vallarta, La Cruz area, most Sundays we'll just take out 30 friends and there'll be a big dance party out here. And there's plenty of room for everybody. It's lots and lots of room. We just added this new fake teak stuff. This is the greatest stuff, man. It really quiets the boat down compared to if it's just fiberglass with nothing else on it. So it's really cool. I'll show you a couple other things. When we originally launched the boat, it had hydraulic steering. Boy, was that a disaster. That we couldn't even steer the boat. We had 2 years of Ha-Has and sailing in the bay with no steering. So
Oh, wow.
why don't you come back here and we can show our back porch here. There used to be nothing back here. And we got rid of the hydraulic steering and we went to a Mambo system, which is bevel boxes. And that means there's a big bar going across the center here and the beam there. So we thought, well, why don't we make a back porch? It's just beautiful. We have, you can have a little dance party back there. It's also a great place to hold the dinghy and all that kind of stuff. I love the Mambo steering system. Basically, it means we have two independent steering systems. I'm really big on redundancy, and if one of the steering things broke or the rudder snapped off, we could still disconnect the two, and we still have good steering. What else do I want? Oh, here's an important part.
So,
Like
real quick,
17
Chuck,
years.
Yes.
we're getting a little bit, it's just been a little,
A wind noise?
no, it's not the wind noise. It's kind of catching.
Okay.
So we're kind of getting like a pause lag. I wonder if it's from the camera, if we should switch back. I just want to make sure, because I really want our audience to get this.
Okay. Let me get back into, wow, where am I here?
Let's see if we can.
Yeah.
Sorry to pause. I just want to see. Thanks, everyone. We are, Richard Spindler is giving us a tour of Profligate right now, and we're getting some great inside information. We're working through some technical difficulties, so just give us a moment.
Oh, did I lose you? Do I have you now, Nikki?
I have you, but I don't have you on video.
How about that? I'm trying to figure out how to turn the back camera off.
Sorry.
That's
It's my
all
fault,
right.
you guys. I messed it up.
Extra camera. I want no extra camera. And that is add camera, auto,
Woo.
full high definition. It's auto. And front camera. That should be just front camera. We'll see what happens.
Sorry I still got nothing here.
See if it comes through. I just have black screen on my.
Yeah, I
Mine.
have black screen too. Shoot.
Front camera.
So-
Maybe I'll leave and come right back on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience. He's gonna come right back and we're gonna finish our tour of the boat and hear what's been going on in the last 24 hours in Bahia Santa Maria. So just bear with us here for a moment, please. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
All right.
All right, here's Richard.
All right, we're back at it. Nikki, tell
Okay.
me if we go off the rails here.
No,
So
no,
let me
this
know.
is better. Sorry, there was just kind of like a lag where it was kind of glitching
Okay.
and you were kind of robotic. So I was hoping to get a little more realistic tone.
Yeah, I'm not robotic at all. So I'll keep going here. This is we have two wheels, two helm stations, one on each side in the cockpit here. A lot of people like the gunboats, they like their helm stations up forward, and all the controls in the center of the boat in front of the mast. Just of course is all wrong. Nobody with any brains does that, and I love it the way back here. I also was talking a little bit about this fake teak stuff that we just put on the boat. This is amazing stuff. It's really nice to the touch. It's a real sound deadener. We didn't think about that, and it looks really snazzy as far as I'm concerned. We got the upper level here. We went about 17 years with no sun protection. in the cockpit. This was complete insanity. But we had Peter Vargas down at Puerto Vallarta, down in La Cruz, build this for about 10 grand. He did a great job. We call it the Lido deck, and sometimes you go up there with a table and chairs and get the
Nice.
aerial view. We got these little lights here. I don't know what you call them. This wouldn't look good on most boats, but on Profligate, it's perfect. So let's see, go over here.
Richard, how long have you owned the boat for?
Well, I had it commissioned. It was launched in 1997, 96 or 97, one of the two. And she's made 57 trips between Cabo and San Diego, going to one way or the other. 57, let's see, 5, 10, 57 times. That's a lot.
That's
And,
amazing.
well, let me tell you some other speed deals. You know, we've had it 25 knots with white sails, 25 knots with spinnakers, but also long distance stuff. Once Donna took the boat to the Caribbean right after her Ha-Ha, then coming back, she made it from Panama to San Francisco in 19 days. That's about 25,000 miles. She made it in 19 days. Of course, Donna, my wife, is so hardcore. She only spent one overnight in all those 19 days. And she'd pull into places like Nicaragua for 4 hours, take on fuel, then get going again and blast it on. 19 days. That's amazing. All right, let's go over here.
It really is amazing.
Well, here's something really interesting. These Harkin winches, these are from the late 90s era, and these damn things, the self-tailor, I think it stinks. And so I called up Harkin once. I says, what the hell's wrong with your self-tailors? And they go, well, you know, those early ones didn't really work. I said, I know. Anyway, they sort of work. But here's a kind of interesting story. We were down and we had some work done beefing up these decks here. And they took the winches apart and then they put them back together and they left out this important part that peels the line off from the self-tailor. So we took off in the first leg of the Ha-Ha, we're grinding it in. It just gets all jammed up in here. It was a nightmare because it was missing this part. So what do? You know, we're about to tear our hair out. But I remembered when I wrote all the bios for the Ha-Ha that one guy, Brian Dowling, said he had a what do you call
3D
this?
printer.
A 3D printer on board. I said, "Are you kidding?" And so when Turtle Bay, I said, "Can you make this part?" It's kind of a complicated little part, simple but complicated. And son of a bitch, he got it right on the second time, and we've left them on. We've got this on 2 inches, and the orange is a beautiful color combination with the black. And I'm going to sell the patent for this color combination to Harkin so they can up their game a little bit. Anyway, let's we got let's see, the engines are operating. Oh, we have two 54 horsepower engines. They're on sail drives. A lot of people say, oh, I'd only have a straight drive, I'd only have a sail drive. I also have a Cat in the Caribbean that has a straight drive. This has a sail drive. I don't see the difference between the two. You know, you can, if the sail drive cone clutch goes bad, if you know what you're doing, you can fix it in about an hour and a half. And so anyway, there you go with that. Let's see. Oh, here's the engine controls. We got micro commanders, you know, fly-by-wire thing on each side. There's a guy who put them in, said you should change these every 5 years. That was like 24 years ago or something like that. They still work great. We go up here. We got the sheet stoppers and everything. All the controls are here. I'm going to tell you once, we need some new halyards. So we're in San Diego. We got some would be 10 millimeter line.
Yeah, you got 12 millimeter. You need 10 millimeter.
Well, no, so we bought 10 millimeter. You know, it cost about $1,500, super high tech stuff. And we had the 10 millimeter sheet stoppers. And 10 millimeter doesn't work with 10 millimeter. Let me tell you. And if anybody's in the market for 250 feet of 10 millimeter high tech line, they got it for you. Let's go up here. These are our dagger boards. We kind of have a stone raising and lowers. We just here you go. And
Pull that
dowel in. And it's a lot of fun. But to tell you the truth, we almost have the boards up almost the entire time. Obviously downwind all the way from San Diego down to Puerto Vallarta. And then, you know, when we don't have them down, we motor upwind. We have them down when we're racing around Banderas Bay. But if I had to do it again, I might go with mini keels. You know, they're a little bit slower, but less of a pain. Anyway, that's the Daggerboard deal. Again, let me tell you about this boat. It's designed for the Ha-Ha. It's a perfect boat for the Ha-Ha. It's designed for the Ha-Ha and day charters and that kind of thing. The Ha-Ha, we've had as many as 14 people on the boat for 2 weeks. It can easily handle 14 people. Sometimes there's so much room, you go, hey, has anybody seen so-and-so? I haven't seen it for 3 days. You know, there's a lot of room here. All right, let's go up here. There's our net. You know, we have a self-tacking jib, which is really great. It's a little bit small. It's only about the size of a storm jib. It's bigger. Normally carry about 5 spinnakers because we love to sail on spinnaker. That's really great. Top of the mast is like 92. No, it's like 89 feet off the water.
Wow.
Second cast, it's too flimsy. You know, when I had the boat designed, this and Kurt used. I'm in one grade, you know, one a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. So he did that. And then when I went to the mast guy, I said, make it even bigger and stronger than that. So they came up with a 7-inch by 14-inch section. It wasn't big enough. You know, we're going for safety, not ultimate performance here. So we ended up with an 8-inch by 16-inch section. It's a real quick shit house, and it works pretty good.
Chuck, I might have lost your camera.
Might have lost which?
I lost your video for some reason.
Okay. Let me open. Is that back?
There you go. You're back.
My
Okay.
phone went to sleep for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, it's all black. Thank you.
All right, so here we are in the foredeck. We got this cross beam here. Again, the boat is 30 feet wide, 60 feet. One day down, and then we're racing up San Francisco Bay. We just got the spinnaker down. We're going upwind and trying to grind it, and all of a sudden, pow! And what the hell was that? We're running all over, and we'd broken the forward beam. And there's actually a good reason to it. We'd broken a couple of strands up forward and forgot about it. We taped them over, and they'd worn through, so that broke. And we were on port tack and a bunch of starboard tack boats and a ship coming in, and that's what makes sailing fun, little adventures like that. So anyway, we got it back to the berth, and we didn't even take the mast down. We replaced the thing in the water. That was pretty cool. Here's our Starlink.
Starlink.
My fifth Starlink. I got one in the boat in Paris, one in the Caribbean. For some reason, I got 3 of them here. There's good reasons for all of this, of course. This is a generation. I got in Mexico about 2 months ago for $200. That's all. But I've since replaced it. It's a power hog. I've replaced it with the Starlink Mini, which is a lovely little device that we got sitting on top of everything over there. But Starlink is kind of funny. In the radio net this morning, some guy was asking for a wireless. And I said, well, don't you have a Starlink? I'd say 80% of the fleet does. And he said, well, I have some political differences with the owner. And, you know, to me, that's kind of like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Having the Starlink on board is so important for safety, for repairs, for ordering parts, for doing, we have people closing real estate deals, selling insurance, doing everything you could possibly imagine. So you don't have to have it, but I love it. Let's see what else. Look at these wide decks. I love this. You know, some of these earlier French cats have these crazy curves and stuff. And what a big sidewalk to walk up and down on. I'll tell you something else that's really great. I insisted on 42-inch side lifelines. I mean, these are, you know, my cat in the Caribbean is a Leopard 45, an old one. They got lifelines about this high. They're designed to trip you and lose you overboard and kill you. This stuff, this is really good. These are hard. This is beautiful stuff. Tall lifelines really make a lot of importance. What else we got here? Well, again, a little bit about the self-tacking jib. You know, it's really great if you're single-handing upwind. I used to single-hand in San Pablo Bay all the time. It was so much fun. The self-tacking jib, you're on one tack and you go, okay, I'm going over. You turn the wheel over, You walk across the cockpit, grab something out of the refrigerator. By the time you come up at the other wheel, you're on the other tack. It's beautiful. Anyway, let's see. Here we got a couple of sun showers. You'd think on a big catamaran you'd have lots of showers. We only have one shower below. As far as I'm concerned, nobody has any business taking a shower inside in the tropics. That's disgusting. And anyway, we use the sun showers, and it's just fine. What else we got here? A couple of self-tailing winches. Lots of room in the cockpit. I guess we go inside now.
Great.
Okay, here we go here. I don't know why you've got these windows closed here. Once we get down on this leg of the Ha-Ha, we usually have it wide open right into the galley there. Get an idea of that. Go inside. It's really important on Profligate on these big events that we have. Everything has to be in its place. You can't have stuff scattered around. As Chuck will show you in the video, everything is organized completely. Going around here. This is the area of the boat is called under the bridge. When we got accommodations for 8 below the deck. Well, actually, we do for 10, but some people don't like to sleep way up forward. So people who have to sleep outside, they sleep under the bridge. That's called up here. Annie Gardner, she's sleeping here, isn't she?
Not this year. She did.
Oh,
a couple
okay.
years
Well,
ago.
anyway, we got 2 people sleeping under the bridge there. So they're intimately involved with everything. This is kind of a workstation, food preparation area. I don't know what, man, all kinds of stuff. This couldn't be my desk because it's too dirty. You got,
Definitely not Richards.
the drone and all that kind of stuff, and anti-dehydration fluids. Storage around here. We have guys. We have a lot of cooks on Profligate, so they go just before we take off. They go to the Saturday market and buy parsley and all that. See that parsley's still growing there.
We got basil growing here.
Basil. God, I don't know what.
This is cilantro.
Unbelievable. Anyway, another little food area here. We got an old classic Engels refrigerator. Their newer competitor is one. What do you call this thing? Winch. I don't know what it is, but this is a real beauty. I like it. It has some features that one doesn't. This is the galley area. These are handmade drawers that we got from Home Depot 27 years ago. They're still holding up. They're elegant, and they work really well. We got our food hammocks up here when we're on charter. Normally, we don't have them in place. Let's see. We go down below. I can't take you down below because everybody's got their personal stuff going down there. But the cabins are huge. The headroom is gigantic. Another interesting thing is you can see where the bilge is down here. And we did some reinforcing, I don't know, about 10 years ago or something like that. And we tore out the whole floor. And since we never ever put anything in the bilge, we said, why don't we seal it up? So we have about 12 separate watertight compartments in the bilges on both sides. So screw the Titanic, we're not going to go down. My concerns are fire, and fire. That's always the big worries. We once had one hull, unbeknownst to Donna and myself, one hull was completely full of water, and you couldn't even tell. The boat was just going along like normal, and I just decided to check, and we had a macerator problem, and we pumped the whole bilge out. The bilge is about that deep and about that wide. The hulls at their maximum are 6.5 feet wide. We got what do we have? We got 2 electric toilets, which are really cool,
And 2 manuals.
and 2 manual. I don't know. We got 3 burbs, and we got. Why don't we turn the volume down? Yeah. This is a real utilitarian boat. You get a modern catamaran, they all look like Manhattan apartments and all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that thing. I'm into utilitarianism. I like to be able to get all the wiring, everything. We don't have the fiberglass hulls covered up with teak trim and all that kind of junk. It's not what we wanted. So, well, maybe Donna wanted it, but I didn't want it. So, I don't know. What else can I tell you about it?
I don't know. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's huge in here. It's really huge. You know, for a while there, we thought about getting into the smuggling business, bringing people up. We could figure we could bring about 70 people aboard a trip. No one would know the difference. And I'll tell you, the maximum people we had on board, once we had Pusser's Rum. Chuck Tobias, the owner, was an old friend of ours. So he said, "Hey, on the Ha-Ha, why don't you do a rum tasting?" And he gave us a mixer and just tons of bottles of rum and these hang to the last drop hats and everything. So we had 159 people on the boat at one time. That was the record, and that was way too many. And we actually crushed the cockpit floor. Let me see if I can find something for you here. There's a
That's
little. The hulls made are Divinyl and vinyl ester resin. I'm trying to. Sometimes I have a part of the hull here. It's kind of interesting, but I can't find it right now. So what the heck? Oh wait, here it is. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. So, oh man, how come the water pump's not on? All right, so this is what the upper part of the boat is made out of, and I don't know if you can see this, but it floats. It balls up on top, just so we don't worry too much about sinking with the compartments and stuff. The boat's not too heavy, so. Balsa, of course, you got to make sure you don't get water in it. We've had a couple of places where we did a minor scoop the balsa out and fix that, but that's no big deal. Let's see.
very cool.
That's everything I know about the boat.
Do you have a favorite Ha-Ha memory aboard Profligate?
A favorite memory? No, but I have a favorite leg. The last leg from here to Cabo San Lucas is often just dreamlike. A lot of times it'll be 10 knots, warm. You're all warm. It might be 10 o'clock at night. The Milky Way is out as bright as you can possibly be. And that third leg is really fabulous. But there are a lot of other moments when we just have big crowds of people on the boat and these little deals we do on Banderas Bay where we have 30 people dancing. I remember the time, who's the guy in dashboard, something by the dashboard light?
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. The
Yeah.
day he died, we had everybody singing and dancing to, what's the guy's name? Come on.
I'm having a stroke. Nicki's going to have
Nicki,
to help.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. The big guy.
No.
Big guy. Anyway, we'll remember it later on.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll text it to you when we remember, Nicki.
yeah, what else can I do for you?
I would love to hear about yesterday with all the kids.
Oh, that was
yesterday.
fun.
Oh, that was epic. Well, come on back here. And this is one of the great things about the Profligate is multi-purpose use. So we cleared off the dinghy there, cleaned all that junk stuff, and then we streamed this island. This is kind of our life raft we also use, but we stream it back there a ways, and the kids do double flips and all kinds of crazy stuff off there. The parents can all watch. We got some music and all that kind of good stuff. I think we have something like 27 kids, about 3 are too frightened to jump, but some of them wanted to jump from the bottom step, whatever works for them. And we enticed them with candy, we threw candy out of the thing and they all went crazy.
Yeah, there's not a lick of candy left after dumping about 10 pounds of it out there.
Yeah, we love the kid. The baseball game. I don't know. Did we get any video of the baseball game?
I don't think we had any
Something
video.
weird's coming up there.
Anyway,
the kids at the baseball game is epic. We get sometimes these kids are like 2 years old, and you get them at bat and you help them and they hit the ball 2 feet and then They don't know what to do. They just stand there and everybody's going, run, run. And they go, I don't know, and then they catch on and they run down there and run off. And
Yeah, they're always safe.
yeah, they're always safe. Kids and women are always safe. It's kind of our women's reparation thing. We make the women always safe. And the crowd goes crazy. They love the kids, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's all the Mexican kids play too. And some of these Mexican kids, they're like, I don't know, like 6 years old. And man, they got swagger and they are really, really good. This is a tiny village. I think they have 6 uniform league baseball teams. They travel all over Baja playing baseball. They are really, really good. So what else can I tell you?
What's your favorite meal, Ben, this trip?
Favorite what?
Meal this time.
Meal.
Oh God, you just can't even pick between them. They're just unbelievable. Last night, what was it, Dino's
Curry,
curry?
yeah.
Oh my God, you never eaten stuff like that. And these are fancy meals. This isn't simple stuff. And the good thing is they always make so much. We stuff them into bags and put them in the freezer here, this regular household freezer. And come around March or April, I'm hungry. I don't want to go to dinner. Don't want to make dinner, and I'm digging through and here's some of Dino's something curry, or here's Chris's chili Colorado. Oh man, and you just relive the whole Baja thing when you do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What else can I do for you?
Well, I was thinking, since people have been catching so much fish, you guys should have a pokey contest.
Oh well, let me tell you about fishing. This has never happened before. By far, people have caught way more tuna. Really big tuna. I'm talking 60, 70-pound tuna, 80-pound tuna, 100-pound tuna. They're hauling this stuff. It's just
54
incredible.
inches, one of them.
54 inches tall. I'm only 48 inches tall. 54 inches. That's like that. And it's just incredible. And we're losing all our lures. Like a lot of boats, they're just taking the lures right and left. They're biting through these stainless steel leaders and everything like that. It's incredible. And then we get down here, they're making lunch for us up on the bluff. And they say they got wahoo up the wazoo. They're just catching so much wahoo out there, they don't know what to do with it. So anyway, to go back a bit, people in the fleet have caught so much big tuna. They're getting on the radio and it goes, who wants tuna? Fresh tuna. We got it vacuum bagged in the freezer, all ready for you. Offers like that all over the place. Who wants this tuna? Who wants that tuna? People are making pokey. They're doing everything. And but now we're down at wahoo territory, so that's really interesting. So you got that.
Well, when do you guys head ashore for the party?
In the next hour.
Yeah, as soon as we're done talking here,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Donna had to go with all the passports to San Carlos, so she's the big leader of the Congo line, so she's irreplaceable. We don't know what we're going to do about that, but it's a lot of fun up there. This Bahia Santa Maria, this is always the favorite spot of everybody's favorite stop. It's surreal here when you get up there with the rock and roll band on the bluff there. And you can't see it. There's just a couple of block buildings there. They don't even have toilets inside. They're an Airbnb. It's crazy. But anyway, there's those beautiful mountains up here. Climb up there. It's about 40 minutes to the top. You get up there and you look over, you can see Mag Bay, which is just a short distance away over in that direction. To the north, you can see the open Pacific. And down that way, you can see more of the Pacific. The interesting thing about this is that this is all an island, a big island. It's like 60 miles long. There's actually an inland waterway that goes up about 60 miles to Lopez Mateo. And so we're behind an island here. Last year, this is more like the weather. The sun's coming out, the wind's dying a little bit. Last year, we had an unbelievable lightning storm here. We've never had that before, but that made that exciting. But I wish you could come up to this rock and roll surreal party. The band comes from Mexico, from La Paz. They got to get in the car and drive, about 4 hours up to Lopez Mateo. Then they got to get in a little ferry, and they go across the little inland waterway. to the beach, and they have to wait until the tide goes out so the sand is hard enough. So they drive about an hour down the beach at low tide, and there's wrecked cars everywhere. And they come into this little spot here and unload their instruments and everything, and that's how that goes down.
Well, is there going to be a 31?
I think so. We got a few things to iron out. The Patsy and I always said, Patsy came in about 17 years ago, and it's really me, Donna, and Patsy. And we couldn't do it without Patsy, and you couldn't do it without me, and you couldn't do it without Donna. So Patsy and we keep saying to each other, it all depends on our health. I'd love to do this. There's nothing I like more. What are you going to do at this time of year? This is a perfect place to be, and it makes so many people happy. It's just a great thing. And so I think there's a pretty good chance there'll be 51. We got to straighten out the passport deal, but maybe we can work around that. But you never know for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for giving us an inside look.
All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could say, but there really is nothing.
I bet you could think of something.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, it's a blast. And some people say, "Oh, I would never do a thing like the Ha-Ha. I'd never do it." And then some people are kind of like, "Maybe I will, maybe I won't." Then they go, "Oh my God, I had the best time of my life." So this isn't something you want to do for a long time, but the Ha-Ha is basically about 9 or 10 days long. You make lifelong friends here. I swear to God, it's true. Some people make babies. Honest to God, there's a family this year, right? That what do you do when the baby was conceived or was? What do you call that when you have a baby? When you make a baby?
Conceived.
Conceived? Yeah, conceived. And I got 2 kids. Conceived during the Ha-Ha. A number of people got married. I don't know if anybody's gotten divorced, but anyway, it's a lot of people tell you this is the best time they've had in their entire lives. I'm not making that up, and we don't do this for the money, although we make a couple of 3-4 million every year.
In T-shirt sales alone.
Yeah, oh God, don't talk to me about T-shirts. They drive me crazy. So anyway, hi to everybody up in Northern California or wherever you are. I've gone totally tropical. I can't stand being cold, and I hate the fog. But I have fond memories of San Francisco, well, of Sausalito primarily, Tiburon, San Rafael, the Corinthian Yacht Club, the St. Francis Yacht Club, the Sausalito Yacht Club, the Sausalito Cruising Club. Oh my God, 30 years ago. Well, no, 45 years ago. That was a wild place, let me tell you. Anyway, I'm done.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you.
There you go. You had the Fuba live.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Yeah. The kids' Olympics went really well. The kids had a blast. They all called on the radio afterwards and gave us, kudos for holding it. And we probably had 25 dinghies behind here. And a lot of the people were people that didn't have kids. They just came to cheer them on. And it was really fun. So, yeah, the only thing that has been a little bit of a stick in the mud was originally, as we talked about yesterday and many days before, was that we were going through immigrations here in Bahia Santa Maria, and this, like I said, this place is really remote. And the guy, an hour before he was supposed to be here, said, "Oh, I've got to take all the passports to take them to San Carlos. The portable machine is broken down." So we collected passports from every boat. We had them all here on Profligate. We had 400 passports. Which is kind of an eerie feeling to have that many passports in your possession. And then Danya and a couple other people are headed off to San Carlos with the people. The Bag Bay Outfitters is a group that works with immigrations and helps process the whole thing. They picked them up here. They're taking them over to a sandbar, driving them over the sandbar, putting them in another ponga, and taking them over to San Carlos to the immigration office. They're going to try to process them all in a couple hours and then do the whole reverse trip. And then we're going to have them here for when people are done with the beach party.
Wow.
That's the plan. Now, realistically, we are in Mexico and plans have already changed. We may be giving these things out on the way down the coast. I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know what's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to happen. It's just, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So the beauty is every one of these things that, like what Richard was saying, everything becomes an adventure, and the unplanned ones are often the ones you talk about the most. So
True. Well, thanks for bringing us along today. I'm going to wrap this up.
yeah,
Unless you have
absolutely.
anything else to share with our audience.
Nope. Tomorrow morning is our departure for Cabo. And we will be sailing, hopefully, for our thing. It looks like the weather has us sailing tomorrow during our broadcast, and we'll fill you in on how everything else went with passports and the other boats. And but this next leg is a short leg for us, and it's warm the whole way. It's one of the nicest little parts of the trip.
Great. Well, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. and go sailing with us down the coast.
All right. See you, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Chuck.
Did I not get that for you?